Hello, hello. Hope you guys doing fantastic today. So in this video, I'm going to show you a very cheap, arguably the cheapest farming method I've seen so far. I kind of started doing it, just like to test the waters, how this is going to look like, to have something in between doing breaches. When, for example, I had like 300, 400 Chayula breach stones to sell at once, and I just had like too many of them, and I slowly kept on selling them, but I wanted to do something else, just like to have something else to do besides just breach, and I started doing altar farming, and this is extremely cheap, and I've noticed that you can earn actually a very decent amount of money on a very low investment. Your build also doesn't need to be like crazy good. Honestly, I would say the faster the better, but other than that, that's it. So let's just jump right into the showcase, and I'm going to tell you afterwards my relics, scarabs, everything like that. And to begin with, I have to say that probably, most likely, there are better ways to do that, and like you can get more profits, even more profits than I do. But I'll just show you what I've been doing, and there we go. All right. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to travel to the end of the map and kill the boss first. And the map is going to be of your choice. You don't really need to worry about it too much, but it will be good if you chose a map where you can like get into the boss quickly, just kill the boss. This way, your altars will never spawn. There are three options when you pick up when the altars spawn. They can do something beneficial for the boss, they can do something detrimental for you, or they can do something beneficial for the Eldritch minions. This option, killing the boss instantly, eliminates the possibility of the bosses getting something. And generally speaking, you want to avoid bosses getting something, not because they're going to be too difficult, is because you want to have the highest possible chance of getting something like divine altars, right? So like here right now, bosses will never spawn, so I can just keep on getting stuff, like the good stuff. Generally speaking, the bosses will never like drop anything too crazy. So yeah, you just if you're not gonna kill the boss first, you're just like missing the rewards, right? Missing potential good stuff. All right, so what can drop from these altars? First of all, we're gonna see if I'm going to get like a good indicator of what you can expect. One of the very first altars were the Greater Eldritch Ichor drop, which is already nice. That indicates that we're already, even if we're not gonna drop like tier 17 map on this map, that indicates that this map is going to be already, reasonably profitable. It takes, depending on how fast you are and how is your loot filter is how set up. These maps can take from, I don't know, 3 minutes to 5 minutes to 6 minutes, depending on how fast you're doing them. Which the faster you do them, the more the profit, obviously. But yeah, there are very decent things that you can find with altars. For example, I had few situations where I clicked the altar that gives you a chance for like something gems, like gem divination cards, something like that. I found one cheater, sold for 5 divines. I found like a couple homes, like something else, like some other stuff. Don't remember the names right now. But the profits are, for how low the investment is, the profits were surprisingly decent. If you just like if you turn into a machine and you just go like pop one map, finish the map as quickly as possible, like just go like freaking rapid fire mode, and you do these maps as quickly as possible, you could get to about 10 divines per hour profits, like raw profits. And all this stuff that I've been getting here, contrary to breach, is very quick, very simple to sell, right? Eldritch Ichors pretty much always will be, until like let's just say very late into the event, into the league, but there will always be reasonably profitable. You're always going to be making money off of them. you know, other stuff like divination cards, like currency stuff that you can get. Scarabs, like here we got ritual scarabs, we have expedition scarabs. So from scarabs you will always get some money, and then you can sell after you get enough. You can sell them in bulk on something like, I don't know, TFT, or you know, if you don't want to be using TFT, you can use something else, right? It's not bad. Is what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. And the best benefit of this is like the relics that I have currently are extremely cheap, very cheap. It's like, I don't know, I paid for the entire strategy. I didn't buy perfect relics. I could buy better ones, but for the entire strategy right now, I paid 6 to 8 divines. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my relics are not even like very good rolls, right? And you know, it's just very cheap, and the profits are pretty decent. On top of everything else, what you're gonna get from, oops, I keep in mind that these are very juiced maps. I'm not even using my endurance charges. I'm not even using enduring cry to not slow myself down. So occasional deaths. You can obviously do all of these deathless if you decide to run easier maps, but this is up to you. What is this? Nothing. And there we go. It's like, it took us a few minutes, like probably like 5 minutes or something like that. And if you would want to calculate all that stuff that I picked up, this was nothing special. We also didn't drop a tier 17 map. The good thing about Strands is, like, the reason when I'm running Strands is because I was running Defiled Cathedral, which is a pretty good map because Mageblood card drops there, the Apothecary. But also, you know, the layout is in a way that you just travel through the map as quickly as possible, get to the boss, and then you can just... It's a pretty good layout, right? The reason why I swapped to Strand is just because, honestly, there's no reason. I just like Strand as number one. I found the guy that makes the divination cards from the Defiled Cathedral map instead affect Strand. So now on Strand I can find apothecaries. Haven't found a single one yet. But yeah, I'm just running Strands. I can just, you know, run as quickly as possible in a straight line, and I'm good. And on top of that, Strands will drop Fortress maps, Tier 17 Fortress maps. These are the most expensive Citadel maps, so, you know, that's one good thing. On the other hand, Defiled Cathedral will drop Sanctuary maps, and Sanctuaries are not as good. They're going to be worth, on average, almost like half of what you can get for Fortress maps. So yeah, like, Fortress maps are very expensive. 0.7 divine you can get easily for a single Fortress map. So, you know, sometimes you're gonna drop 2 because you pick up the altars, and the altars will occasionally give you a chance to drop double maps. The monsters will drop double maps, so the maps will be copied, it reads, whatever. So you're gonna get 2. Sometimes there were maps where I got 4, because, you know, I dropped 2 Citadel maps and they both doubled. So, you know, it's a feels good moment, and definitely you're gonna get some currency there. But when it comes to setup, why I'm dropping 8 modded Strand maps, we're gonna get to it in a second when we get to Scarabs. But you can sell them, as I mentioned before, for example, on TFT or somewhere else, and selling like a big bulk of these 8 modded Strand maps should be pretty easy, and actually should be pretty profitable. They can sell from anywhere to like from 8 to 10 chaos each, if maybe even more if you use the rejects, which is going to, like, you know, disable some of the mods. Not disable, but, you know, you just basically put a filter in here and it filters the maps, and then you can sell them for even more, right? So you know, it's pretty profitable. Like, you know, the inventory of stuff I had here, you could like argue, but, you know, we didn't drop a map, which is, you know, sometimes you don't drop maps, sometimes you don't drop tier 17s, but that was already like another horrible amount of currency here, probably around 100 chaos, like including everything. Maybe even a little bit more than that, because we had like 4 or 5 strength maps there, so that's alone like 40-50 chaos. So yeah, it's chill, it's pretty cool, very insanely low investment. So let's jump into it, what exactly I'm doing. And once again, I'm going to mention that you could probably be doing something better than this. This is just my, like, I've been experimenting, and this is what I came up with. I'm pretty sure that you could do, for example, you could like even add Beyond, and Beyond by itself, if you're gonna have Beyond in your maps, and with this massive pack size of monsters, you'll be dropping quite a few Beyond monsters there and there, and this will automatically increase your chances of getting tier 17 maps. So this is something totally you can do. I didn't do that for the showcase. I've been doing Beyond, and it increases the amount of loot you get for sure. But there are other options too. Like you can do Delirium, like blah blah blah. You can do all that stuff. All right. So when it comes to Scarabs, influencing Scarab of Hordes, the most important one because it will give you 40% increased pack size. Then we have Cartography Scarabs of Corruption. They're not very expensive. You can get like about 20 or maybe even like 22, 23 for one divine. So you're done for a long time after you buy some of them, and this will keep you dropping. All the maps that you're gonna drop will have 8 modifiers. Will be corrupted. This does not include tier 17 maps, so don't worry about that. You will be able to drop to sell tier 17 maps just fine because this will not affect them. So this is a good amount. I've been selling my maps, and this is actually a decent amount of money. Using this Scarab is a decent amount of money. On top of that, you're self-sustaining, so you never have to buy maps ever. That's why I'm using Cartography Scarab of Escalation, because I only run 8 modded maps, which means that I'm going to have 80% increased maps found in area. So this is very nice. And then additional to Scarabs, you could be doing anything you would like. It's hard for me to put my finger on what exactly would be the best. I've been running Cartography Scarabs of the Multitude to add more monster pack size and once again get even more maps. But there are many options here. You could, for example, I've been running for a little bit. Where do we have Scarabs? I've been running for a little bit. Where are the Cartography? Okay, there we go. I've been running for a little bit this one, which adds even more modifiers to your map, which is more quant and more pack size. Adding more monsters, stuff like that. I don't know, playing around with Beyond or something like that. It's like, the sky is the limit. Like how many different things you could put in there. It's very hard for me to put my finger exactly on what would be the best here. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments, because I want to optimize this strategy a little bit because it's fun to run it. It's like very little investment, and you're just running through your maps, and like once every, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, depending on how lucky you are, you're going to get the divine altar, which is going to be also insane. So with this massive pack size, it's really cool to like get like 20, 30, 40 divines, right, from a map. So haven't found a single one yet, but I've been only running this strategy for 2 days, so there is time, and obviously also there is room for improvement when it comes to the setup. Now, when it comes to relics, I've been using 6% increased pack size. This is from 4 to 6, yes. And monster packs influenced by the Eater of Worlds in your maps have 34% increased pack size. Every single one of them should have that. The increased pack size is not the best one. The best one would obviously be increased effect of explicit modifiers per modifier, right? Because we are self-sustaining maps. The maps drop without, they're not chiseled. So the other modifier that gives you increased effect of explicit modifiers per 5% quality on the map is going to be useless for us. So the best one would be, the explicit modifiers per number of modifiers that the map has. That would be pretty insane. If you had 4 of them, that would be actually pretty cracked, not gonna lie, because you would get like insane amount of quant from these maps and insane amount of pack size and everything. So these would be the best. These ones will cost you probably less than a divine. They're very, very cheap. I got all 4 of them for, and they're all the same, by the way. I got all 4 of them for probably like, I don't know, 3 divines, something like that. Some of them didn't even cost a single divine, right? When it comes to 3x1 or 1x3 relics, I have increased chance to find Eater of Worlds altars in your maps. This stacks, and you're going to get up to 80% with 4 of them. which means that, you know, there are maps where I actually got like 12 altars or something like this. In this map was like nothing special, but even in this map we got like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like this, right? And on top of that, increased effect of explicit modifiers in your maps. What would be even better and more expensive automatically would be from 5 to 10% increased pack size, preferably 10, if you use Fortune Favors the Brave. So this one, this will add a random mechanic from all of these, and by default, not by default, but with this relic modifier, you will get up to plus 10 pack size. So with perfect relics, like with getting like all the explicit modifier from these and like 40% pack size from 4 of these, that would be pretty crazy actually. This would be getting pretty crazy, I'm gonna lie. You would be running around with 250 quant maps, even more after authors, and they will have like 100 plus pack size, all of them. Plus you would have more pack size from the Scarab and the relics. That would be pretty cracked all together, I think. That would be actually like, if you wanted to invest more into altars, that would be pretty cracked. You'll be getting tier 17 maps pretty much every single map with this amount of pack size and quant. And on top of that, you would get like insane amount of stuff from the altars themselves. So, you know, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll keep on investing into this strategy. Right now, I'm saving currency because I'm almost done with all the items needed for my next project. But, you know, in the future, we'll see. So these are these 4, and then the small ones, you know, we only have 4 left. So what I've been doing is I got Eldritch Gates, obviously perfect roll for increased effective upsides, which makes these altars more harder at the same time because they have additional downside. And the 3 small ones I have increased Scarabs found in your maps. This is not the best because the better one would be increased maps found in your maps. And on top of that, Eldritch Ichor found in your maps influenced by either of rolls have 6% chance to be duplicated. I added these for the lack of better choices. You know, you're gonna get some more Ichors, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. But these could be better. I think that increased Scarabs found in your maps is mediocre, because we're not really like, you know, we're not really like Scarab farmers. So increased amount of increased maps found in your maps, increased amount of maps would be probably better. But once again, like, let me know if you think that there is something better here. Like, I'm not sure. The one thing that I absolutely need to have is Eldritch Gaze, because, you know, without that, this strategy is just like pointless, right? It's totally pointless. And that's about it. These are the Scarabs maps. Once again, you can run whichever you want. I would recommend a map that has like a, you know, good layout for you to get to the boss as quickly as possible, and then just run back and kill everything when you don't need to worry about the altars having like a boss benefit anymore, because that will, generally speaking, increase your profits. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very low investment. This is like insanely low investment. Once again, I paid like 7-8 divines maybe for all of these relics, which is probably like the cheapest you could think of. The Scarabs are dirt cheap, maybe except for this one, but this one is still like pretty cheap. It's like 7 chaos each, so you can buy 20 something of them for 1 divine, and you're done for a long time pretty much. So yeah, pretty decent. Nothing too crazy, but for people that struggle with currency, this is definitely going to be pretty decent to farm. Once again, the faster, it's important to have like a pretty fast character, right? Because it will be probably better to run 8 modded corrupted maps, because you get more increased pack size, and pack size will increase the amount of monsters you'll be getting from your altars. So technically speaking, you want to keep on pushing this pack size as much as humanly possible, right? But yeah, this is gonna be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. One thing before I end, in the last video, some people asked if I could show the more difficult content, so I recorded literally before this. I recorded a tier 17 map with exactly this setup, and on top of that, in the middle of the map, I had to take my Enduring Cry off, because normally I don't run with Enduring Cry at all, because I focus on speed. So like Enduring Cry will stop me every now and then, so I don't even care about my endurance charges. But during this tier 17 map, I found an altar that made me like lose my recovery completely if I use endurance charges. So I just dropped it, and I think this is going to be a pretty good showcase of what the build is capable of. Because it was pretty dangerous tier 17 map. So for all the non-believers, the content is going to show right after I'm done, which is right now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Next video is going to be about my next project, which I should be able to. I think I'm going to be done with it tomorrow, collecting all the gear. At this point, I'm almost done. The only thing I need is like some stuff like gems, like level 4 enlighten and stuff like that, so I should be able to get that pretty soon. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.